Hi, this is Chibi Pet, and I'm about to summon on the new Ninja of Time banner for female Shez. I wasn't expecting her to be on the Ninja banner this year, but here she is. Yeah, I mean, I was expecting her to eventually be on the ninja banner because traditionally with the ninjas, a common theme has been brave attacks and stealth, which does fit Shez's character, especially in Fire Emblem Heroes, with pretty much all of the Shezes having, brave attacks in their weapons. I'm not sure why they chose to release female Shez on the ninja banner so soon after her getting her legendary refine and remix. I mean, at the very least, they could have given ninja female Shez like a different weapon type, or a different color, or a different movement type, like she could have been flying instead of infantry. And the weapons are so similar. I'm so confused by this decision. Honestly, I kind of wish that like the male and the female Shezes had swapped positions so that male Shez could have been a premium 5-star unit. Mostly because with his ninja alt, he's an axe user, and my hope is that male Shez would get a premium 5-star ult so that he can use Shadow Slide, and like with Shadow Slide on his legendary version, he can warp to any 2 spaces that an ally of his has after an ally of his has gone into combat, and he has pass built in, so you can't block it with warp blocking abilities. And so I would like for him to get a melee version with Shadow Slide so that I can run Gale Force on him. But unfortunately, that is not the case here. So I guess maybe for his upcoming Fallen ult. I mean, I feel like it's pretty inevitable that Shez will get on the Fallen banner because of how in 3 Hopes, depending on the route you take, Shez gets possessed by Epimetidas. And when you fight possessed Shez, I think Shez's class defaults to the Ashura class, so, using swords. So my hope is that if we get a fallen male Shez, that he'll be probably an infantry sword user, again, so that I can run Gale Force on him. Granted, that would overlap with his base version, who's also an infantry sword user. This banner is... I just don't understand the decisions that went into this banner. Because, I mean, like, it really feels like Intelligent Systems doesn't have faith in it, and so they just threw in characters as obligations. Like, the artwork for female Shez in Unica looks noticeably unpolished. Which is quite strange for female Shez because her artist did Summer Petra, who did a fantastic job of, you know, with the colors and the poses. So I don't understand why it is, like, you have Ninja Female Shez, who's a premium 5-star, but but her artwork just looks so lacking. I mean, it's not terrible, but it definitely could be better. And there's also how, like, you know, both of the male characters on this banner, well, one of them is like the emote, and the other is free. Which is like, which I noticed was kind of odd since last year I don't think last year's banner had any demotes. I mean, to be fair, I kind of prefer it when there is a demote on the banner, just because for characters who have favorites, it's easier to custom them when they're a demote as opposed to a 5-star. So, I don't know, maybe Intelligent Systems got enough backlash for having no demotes on last year's banner. And there's also how, like, with the duo, the duo Golvig and Kvasir follows the same precedents as Freya and Aiter from Halloween, just from last month. And, like, that in itself isn't bad, but it's noticeable for yay! So I just got a purple-haired Three Houses character, and I'm getting another purple-haired Three Houses character. Cool. Nice, plus attack.
もう忍者ごっこは始まってるの?
Curiously enough, I saw the data mine, and apparently, this female Shez, she doesn't have any super brings and attacks. I think, like, the other female Shezes got, only super brings and attacks, except for the base 3-4-star female Shez, who has super brings and attack and speed.
軽くて動きやすい衣装ね。気に入ったわ。てや。忍者の武器の扱いもなかなかでしょ?
I remember my hope for Shez on the Ninja banner was that maybe, like, both of them could be the lead duo. I mean, I'm surprised we don't have a Shez and Shez duo yet, especially because they would be just perfect, you know? Because in their forging bonds, I remember what a clear contrast it was between, like, okay, so, like, with the Chris's, in their forging bonds, from what I recall, they basically get into arguments as to which one is better for, for serving Marth. Like, I think, like, female Chris, in particular, feels affronted that Marth apparently, the Marth that is in Fae doesn't recognize her, but recognizes male Chris. But then, like, you have the Shez's forging bonds, and they're basically the most chill pair of avatars that that you could fathom. I mean, they're basically like, oh, like, I have an alternative world opposite gender counterpart? Hell yeah! Let's share toothbrushes. You know, let's share everything. You know, like, they're just like so chill with each other. So it feels like it'd be like inevitable for them to be in a duo together, or you know, they'd just be like hanging out, being pals.
物陰に潜んでいると、つい体を伸ばしたくなっちゃうの。
I mean, if it wasn't for female Shez getting a winter alt last year, I would have assumed that eventually, like, the two of them would be on the winter banner together. But obviously that's not likely to happen now. And of course, both Shezes have ninja alts now, so they're not going to appear as a duo on the ninja banner. They're not going to be in the summer banner either. So I don't know, it kind of feels like IS is like, yeah, we don't really want Shez to be in a duo. I guess I do wonder if they could be like on the kids banner. I mean, I imagine we will eventually get a Three Houses themed kids banner. Probably with Edelgard, Dimitri, Claude, and both Violets. But I mean, like, there wouldn't be anything stopping us from repeating a Three Houses theme, albeit with three hopes. That's probably not very likely though. But yeah, I can imagine like the Shezes being in a duo on the kids banner. They just like talk about how much they love their adopted mom. When I saw the silhouettes for this banner, my first thought was was thinking that it was Owain, you know, to follow his cousin and uncle from last year, and then Chloe on the right because of ninja sailing, and plus Chloe's Japanese voice actress is also the voice of Sita. You know, Sita being a very prominent character in the Ōkami games because she's Marth's fiance, but she's also the one who helps Marth reclaim his homeland in the first game by being able to recruit those who would otherwise be unwilling to aid his army. So I feel like because of that, like, Chloe's probably more likely to get character alts as opposed to other characters. Because on the Fire Emblem Heroes subreddit, there's a user who likes to make predictions based off of the Japanese voice actors, because of course this game is produced in Japan, so obviously Japanese voice actors would take precedence over English voice actors. And so because of that, because of the efficiency, because you know, when you bring a voice actor into the booth, it's more cost and resource efficient to have them come in and voice a whole bunch of characters while they're there instead of having to repeatedly bring them in. So because of that, for any alts that Sita gets, I imagine ups the likelihood that Chloe will get alts too, just by virtue of them sharing the same voice actor in Japanese. And this is also why I've seen people speculate that there will probably eventually be a proper banner for the Fire Emblem Shadows characters. It's like, so far we've had Beast Lyn as a white mythic. But because some of the characters in Shadows share Japanese voice actors with existing Fire Emblem characters, like for example, Tomita Miyu, female Shez's Japanese voice actor, voices one of the characters in Shadows. So, like, if they're gonna bring in a voice actress to you know, voice Shez alts, then it makes sense that they would also have the voice actress voice, you know, the character from Shadows. Maybe also possible Tina alts. I'm not sure how popular Tina is, so she is exclusive to Thracia 776. Yay, nice. Kairi!
あなたに勝利を持ち帰るわ。気合い入れていくわよ。忍者とは石膏であり暗殺者であり、興味深い存在だわ。
Well, I was so sure that for this year, because like last year we got, you know, Celine as a ninja. I was expecting, you know, we might get Alfred, who still is the only royal from Gage who hasn't gotten anything, any ults. And, you know, considering the pattern for duos that have been released on the Ninja banner, I thought that maybe like this year we would have gotten female Alir with Ivy. I mean, like, female Alir like, with already has a pattern of having, you know, brave effect built into her weapon. Like, you look at like her legendary version, you look at her her fallen version. And, you know, she and Ivy are very popular, especially together as a pairing, so it's like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. They'll be a duo on the Ninja banner. Well, not this year, apparently. I really wonder if, like, they were supposed to release this banner later, because it's so odd that, like, not only would they release, you know, a character who also just got her refined and remix, but then release a character who's all about extra actions immediately after we just got a mythic who just outright shuts down your extra actions. It's like, I'm so confused by this decision making. So I do hope that this is the last time in a while that my favorite characters get premium alts, because oh, this year has been so rough on my orbs. Like a +10 Valentine's Dimitri, as well as Desert Ike. I'm saving to +10 Arval. I believe, let's see, the Twitter Revival banner should be occurring later this month, so that's at least one guaranteed copy. Plus, I don't think Rafal has been on any of the remix banners yet, so let's see, Unica was last month, and I think Nell was on there too, so that just leaves Rafal to appear on a remix banner. So my Arval is currently +7, so that means I would just have to summon one more copy. And then there's also like Tea Time Felix that I want to finish +10ing. Mine's at +4. So I have to wait for him to come around on a double Special Heroes banner. And I love Tea Time Felix so much. He is so fun to use, even though like it's kind of ridiculous that he doesn't have the unfair brokenness of his Brave version, who's older, mind you. Because like Brave Felix apparently can bypass the what is it, the Foresight effect. Oh, hey look, I got a Golvig. Oh man, I used to use Brave Golvig so much in Aether's offense. I loved using her. And her summer version too. It was always so fun with Gale Force strats. And Brave Golvig being a flyer meant that for defense maps that had more English terrain that made it more unfriendly for like infantry users. And unfortunately, I don't really use her that much anymore because she just doesn't really have the firepower. But yeah, I do love using Tea Time Felix because his ability to inflict a whole bunch of debuffs on the foe just by existing has been so helpful in Aether raids. And he's basically my go-to Anniversary, Duomarth, and Legendary Black Knight killer. I'm looking for a plus defense Henry. So my Henry is maybe like +8 or +9. And then in addition to wanting to finish +10ing those two, there's going to be the eventual mythic Lion Dimitri, you know, like, you know, similar to like Beast Lyn. And the inevitable Emblem Dimitri, although at least that will probably not be for a good while, I hope. I mean, I imagine we'll be getting Lion Dimitri pretty soon, because so we got Lyn first, and Lion Dimitri's already in Shadows. Of course, they could also like release Corn ahead of him. Oh, and then there's of course a possible fallen female Shez, that I'll have to consider. Though this might not be as likely because like unless male Byleth also gets a fallen alt, I mean it depends on how IS wants to go about it, because like with fallen female Byleth, it's really just female Byleth's body being piloted by Sothis. And so because of that, female Byleth doesn't have any voice lines of her own. So with Fallen Shez, it'll probably just be Shez having been body snatched by Epimetidus. And so unless I suppose IS wants to release alts of of male Byleth and whichever Shez they don't put on the Fallen Banner. Because I assume it'll probably be male Shez who would be the one possessed. I mean, I suppose like what Ayas could do is with male Byleth and female Shez, if they think it would be profitable to put them on the Fallen Banner, I guess would be to have both. Oh, nice, there we go. Yay! Would be to have both the voice actors for Sothis and Byleth and Epimetidas and Shez, respectively. Both have voice lines.
祭りに参加して鍛錬にもなるなんて一石二鳥ね。
I mean, we haven't ever had a duo on the Fallen Banner before, but I guess we could have that. Like, maybe like for the Fallen Banner, that we'll be getting in a couple of months. Could have male Shez on it, and then have a duo be male Byleth and Sothis. And then, like, the year after that, or whenever they want to release it, could have a duo with female Shez and Epimetidas. Every time I get a male Grima, I keep thinking he's a 5-star just because of how hard his art goes. Like, seriously, they did not need to give his art, like, such a good upgrade. Like, this is honestly, in my opinion, better than male Grima's regular, like, green 5-star version. Oh, and speaking of Fallen, I wouldn't be surprised if eventually Raphael ends up on the Fallen Banner too, because, I mean, he technically qualifies for it. Because in the Fel Xenologue DLC, it turns out that Raphael, while he was pretending to be Nil, ended up getting corrupted by Sombrom's influence, which causes him to go crazy and try to kill everyone. And there's also the possibility that him and Nell could get legendary or mythic versions. I mean, we've had characters like... Oopsie. 失礼します. Anyway, as I was saying, since we got characters like Vale, Fa, Tiki as legendaries and mythics, I wouldn't be surprised, especially with the legendary candidate pool shrinking, if we got Nell and Raphael as legendaries. Granted, I'm not super confident Raphael is going to be that good because if his regular version is anything to go by, he's going to be an armored dragon. And armor units, in my experience, tend to be pretty tedious to use in Arena, just because it's so hard to get them anywhere. I mean, yeah, sure, there's, you know, teleportation like guidance and whatnot. Yeah, but it's very it's very unit specific. Although Legendary would probably still be preferable over Mythic, because I imagine Raphael would be doomed to be a defense Mythic. Probably Anima. I mean, I imagine Somron is no doubt going to be a Dark Mythic. I mean, the guy is literally, like, built for it. I do wonder, like, when we are going to get Somron, though, because he does share his Japanese voice actor, Katsuki Kunishi, is that his name? With Sander. And, Katsuki Kunishi was brought in to voice, Child Sander. So it feels like it's just a matter of time before we get Sombron. And ideally also Resplendent regular Sander. Still waiting for that. Really hope that, like, with Resplendent Sander that he ends up being Emblem. You know, to match with Veronica, because he played such an integral part in Book 1 of Fire Emblem Heroes, where he basically acted as Veronica's big brother protector. And he just, like, gets abruptly dropped out of the story. Never is heard from again. I really miss those days when they tried to incorporate the characters from other Fire Emblem games into the hero story. I've seen speculation that for the December banner, if we get a new emblem and the emblem is green, it could possibly be Edelgard. Because, like, most of the other candidates, if you look at, like, the pattern for characters released on the 8% December banner, typically tend to be female who, if they're not lead characters, like, you know, like protagonists or lords, often play a prominent role. Like, there was Lilina one year. There was female Violet. There was female Shez. There was Camila. There was Emblem Lyn. So I wouldn't be surprised since we got Emblem Corrin and we got a Tiki alt earlier this year, and we technically got a Lucina alt in the form of Marth on the Gladiator banner. Regarding green, there's really not a lot of female candidates left who would fit that to a T. Granted, Edelgard did get an alt earlier this year, but we did also get alts for Lyn and female Shez, who it's like not even been a year since they got their last alt, so IS is obviously like speeding up the pace at which characters are getting alts, I guess. Well, I do hope that if it is a green emblem, I do hope it is Edelgard, because, you know, she's no doubt going to be able to give multiple actions to whoever equips her. And plus, this gives me an excuse to try to get merges for Legendary Diamant. Ooh, I would love to +10, but I've had to juggle so many other premium 5-star plus 10 projects this year that he's had to be put on the back burner. Also, like, when his banner debuted, it wasn't a great color share for me, because I already have Emblem at plus 10. And, Fallen Female Lear I already have, and her fodder is pretty niche. Yay! Oh, nice. Plus speed. Let's go.
軽くて動きやすい衣装ね。気に入ったわ。あなたに勝利を持ち帰るわ。気合い入れていくわよ。
Debating if I want someone on the red orbs just because I really do want to get that speed defense level finish skill. I do wonder, if we get Emblem Edelgard, I wonder if her ring will be able to bypass the four snare effect. Because otherwise it seems kind of pointless. You know, at least running the ring in Astra Season. Alternatively, I imagine we'll eventually get a character, probably an Astra Mythic, maybe, who comes with the ability to completely bypass effects of enemies' visible bonuses. Because that just seems to be how power creep works in this game. I mean, you look at Ōkami, who basically rains terror against anima teams, and then they just release Freyr to completely bypass her effect. Oh, nice, a brave boulder. Finally, a pity breaker that's actually worth getting. With good IVs too.
新たな私の姿に目がくらみまして。
I do hope that female Shez eventually gets a duo. Ideally one where she leads. And the duo that I want more than anything else for her to be in is with Arval. I mean, we did get Sothis with male Byleth on Halloween. Honestly, that would be like really cute if we got a Halloween female Shez and Arval duo. It's probably not likely to happen because Halloween seems to pretty much just become exclusive to Beast and Dragon users. Which on the one hand is great because this does guarantee Raphael's gonna get on there one way or the other. Because he's a dragon who is unashamed in his love for sweet. But it is also annoying how limiting it is as far as character selection goes. I mean, there was one year where they didn't have any dragons. They had like Halloween Misutira and Flame, and oh, that also had the harmonic with the two Annas. That was really fun. I liked that. But it seems like, as far as we know, the banner didn't generate as much profit as I probably would have liked, so we're gonna revert it back to dragons and beasts. Leon!
ここにはさ、トマトっていう野菜はある？
I do wonder that since both Arval and Legendary Female Shez got their refines fairly close to each other, I noticed that both of them have the shackle effects built into their new weapons. So it makes me wonder, if they got a duo together, does that mean they'd have basically an Omni shackle effect? And possibly, if Shez is the one leading it, a Hexblade effect as well, to ensure that Female Shez, who will no doubt have her signature Omni effective damage, is guaranteed to inflict big numbers no matter what the foe's defensive stat looks like. I do wonder what season the duo could be in. Because I mean, all of the other seasons I would have expected, like Ninja, for example, already have Female Shez with an ultimate, so that basically puts her out of the picture for getting a duo. I remember seeing a long time ago someone theory crafting a banner for January, because usually in January there's a banner that is basically like a cultural theme. Like we got, for example, Hatari, where we had Nyla, as well as the harmonic, Aqua, and Leon. Oh, okay. I already have you at plus 10. So I guess your fodder.
俺は兄を超えたかった。初めて剣を握ったその時からずっと。
Anyway, and I saw someone wonder what an Agarthian-themed cultural banner would be like. So if I just wanted to do something like that, maybe they could make the duo Female Shez and Arval. I mean, I know that's not typically what they do. The duo or harmonic is usually somebody who is not directly tied to it, but, you know, is basically indulging in the culture. But I can't really think of any other seasonal themes that would fit a duo Female Shez and Arval. I guess there's Valentine's, but we did get 3 houses in Valentine's already, so I don't know if Ice would be okay with doubling down on that. Probably, realistically, the duo would just end up being a normal pairing, you know, similar to, like, Marth and Sita, or Elincia and Lucia. However, if I had my way, I would want to see the two on a wedding banner. where they do a conversation would have Shez give Arval the mercenary whistle, the item that you get in Three Hopes, that is basically the closest equivalent to having Shez form an S support with another character. I'm not sure if Ayas would ever actually do that. Probably not, but because with the wedding banner, there's obviously very gender-specific attire that the characters wear. And because Arval doesn't really have a gender, Ayas probably doesn't really know what they would wear. Granted, Arval is, at least in the Japanese version, is masculine coded. They do use male pronouns. Male first-person pronouns, I should say. So I imagine if intelligence systems did want to put Arval in a duo with female Shez on the wedding banner, probably they would have female Shez wear, you know, the typical bride dress, and Arval would probably wear a suit. I do wonder what Arval's chances of ever getting an actual seasonal alt are at this point. Because, like, we keep getting seasonal alts for the Shezes, but Arval has gotten absolutely nothing despite being in the game for over 3 years. I mean, I get it, it's because they're A, from the spin-off game, so there's obviously not as much exposure to their character, and B, like, let's be real, they don't have exactly the most marketable design. I mean, if they were a cute girl like Selfish, then sure, they'd probably be getting at least more positive attention by now, but they're not. So I feel like probably Arval's best bet for an alt would be this upcoming winter banner. You know, to match with winter female Shez. I do fear that if Arval doesn't get an alt this year, they're probably not going to get one ever, because I feel like the moment we get Fallen Shez, that's going to put the nail in the coffin for Arval ever getting any seasonal alts. Because a Fallen Shez alt will, you know, as I said, will most likely be possessed by Epimetidas, who does share Arval's voice actor. And even though Epimetidas does have at least like in the Japanese version, I don't know if this is true for the English version, but in the Japanese version, Epimetidas does speak in a noticeably deeper tone. Yay! Oh, fantastic.
もう忍者ごっこは始まってるの？てや、忍者の武器の扱いもなかなかでしょ。忍者とは石膏であり暗殺者であり、興味深い存在だわ。物陰に潜んでいるとつい体を伸ばしたくなっちゃうの。
But anyway, I guess like my fear is that like with possessed Shez, probably people will mistaken Epimetidas for Arval, which therefore could maybe, I don't know, cause people to have a more negative view on Arval's character. I know, that's probably just being very silly. But I think that will do it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. if you're summoning in this manner, I wish you the best of luck in your summons, and I hope that you are able to take care of yourself and stay safe. And I will see you in the next video.